It's about 7:21, and you're watching hashtag GTV Breakfast. Let me give you a flavor of what is ahead. And talking of flavor, if you missed our recipe today, how palava sauce was wrapped up in savory pancake, making Sheikh hungry here. And you can go to our Facebook page, look for GTV Ghana, follow it, like the video, share it. We're trying to get to 1 million viewers, 1 million followers, and you are part of that story. So that recipe is there. We have an issue to discuss, the IMF bailout, and we're scooping the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry on the implications of that $600 million first tranche of the $3 billion that we've applied for from the International Monetary Fund. That's a conversation to chew on. And then Breakfast with Vanilla takes place in the last half hour of today. So your messages, as always, grab your phone and put down our number 055-556-1034. If you're calling, sending us messages outside of Ghana, it's +233-55-556-1034. Across social media, just use the hashtag GTV Breakfast and we will locate your messages like God's grace locates us and read them to you. My guest at the table speaks for the National Chief Imam. His name is Sheikh Arimiyao Shaibu. Salaam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Shalom.
Peace to you. At-takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar indeed. May God be magnified, and may God be praised. How are you? How is the old man, the National Chief Imam?
Old man is doing very well. High in his spirit. Still strong in body. Just yesterday, the Canadian High Commissioner paid him a courtesy call, and it will amaze you how he summarized his response to the multitude of questions that she threw at him because she wanted to understand how he offers his leadership in the areas of interfaith dialogue, in the areas of promoting peace in the country, in the areas of youth development and education, in the areas of his position on terrorism, and currently what is happening, the threat to the West African sub-region with respect to terrorism, and how he summarized all these things on the basis of certain quotations from the Holy Quran and what he thinks we must do. And it was, for me, it was very amazing. And we around him had very little to add to what he gave. And so he's still alert in the mind, acute. He can think as long as you make him to understand the subject in the language that he best understands. He's able to, so he's fine, and we are happy that he keeps on receiving, such people from both from internal and the diplomatic circles, still pay him a courtesy call, and for me, that international dimension of his role has been recognized. The British High Commissioner comes to recognize that, the U.S. Ambassador comes to recognize that, the Canadian Ambassador comes, and they all have done their search, and so when they come, they tell him what they have heard of, or they know about him, and that's a credit. And for me, it's not so much about him, but about the value of leadership. The value of leadership. When you are made a leader, what do you live for? Is it about for your own personal aggrandizement? Is it for your fame? Is it for your popularity? Is it about how you make positive impact and leave a good legacy? I think that for such people, him and other leaders across the religious spectrum, and even within the political circles, when God elevates you, you see, leadership is an elevation by God in his favor. It's not because you are the most qualified, the most knowledgeable, the wisest of all people. God decides at one time to elevate you for his own purpose. If you understand that, you will behave well. And I say so directly to politicians who, through our electoral process and by God's grace, because all of them, when they are campaigning, they said, "Nyamine sehene."
It's God who installs kings.
How did they come by this understanding? It's God who enthrones. So when our politicians stand and when they meet religious people and they want to appeal to religious emotion of the religious class, for example, they use expressions that resonates with the thinking of the people, of the religious class. And they tell us, Nyame ene sihine. So unim say Nyame sihine, unim nientia or power say, wo beyahine. Have you thought deeply about this? And some of the things tomorrow at the proper time we shall be talking. As you listen to the elections that went on, the fallout, and hear what people are saying, the mischief against themselves from internal side. Some of them very difficult to forgive. Because you want to win election, you say things that are untrue. You damage his reputation. Because your end here is to win. Now when you win, you finish, you begin to say, oh, yenya bako. Oh, you know, during the time we all said things. So you knew you were being mischievous. For me, these things, they go very deep at the core of the quality of our politics. So if internally we can do this, so across the political divide, the worst we can do, because we must win the election. So I'm calling on all, I'm waiting to see what the MPP will also do. I'm waiting. So that we can really make a universal comment about this, that we should avoid the politics of mischief. Because you are competing with me, don't be malicious. Go pick information that are untrue about me, damage me.
And then come back and say, we're sorry.
And then when you have won the election on the basis of malice, mischief, defaming, slander, you have won the election on this evil, vice. Then you come back. So, says, yes, now, you see, let's now look at the party. Oh, you see, now we are one. Now, how do I trust you? How do I trust you? Even if your own compatriot, somebody with whom I share the same political platform, how do I trust you? How do my citizens trust you? That if on basis of lies, you can do this to your political, colleague. So if citizens are really wise and they listen, if they listen, how should we trust you? If you become our president, how should we trust you? If you become our president, how should we trust you? So I'm talking to young politicians. Together with my colleague, my brother here, at least when you cross a certain age, I live on the reality that I'm getting old. I'm sliding back. A time will come when I will not be able to talk the way I'm doing, and somebody must replace me. Now, even in politics, because politics has become a necessary evil, there's nothing we can do about it. We must always do elections. So please, young politicians, I talk to you. Find your true path. Find your true path to politics of conscience. That you can now use politics as a means by which you render quality and positive contribution to our development.
Thank you so much. Opening remarks from Sheikh Ariniyao Shaibu, spokesperson for the National Chief Imam. He's not here alone. The man who is on the hashtag "This Nonsense Must Stop" crusade is right here. He's the president and the founder of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete. What's your middle name?
Nene Kofi Agbenyo Tete.
Reverend Dr. Lawrence Nene Kofi Agbenyo Tete.
Nana is royal.
Yes.
It's like Nana.
My great-grandfather was the one who led the war, the Katamanto War, the Dangwe War. In fact, my great-grandfather was the one who was the only person who could conquer the Ashantis in the Dodowa forest. So he was the one who led to even capturing some part of Togoland for Ghana. And so I come directly from that lineage. In fact, by virtue of my name, my title, and where I come from, I'm qualified to be a king of the Dangwe state.
Wow.
Yes.
Your Majesty, we greet you.
But I prefer to be a preacher. And this is one thing that the Dangme Shai people would have really loved, that I take it. The Apatechi clan of the Dangme, the Wodukum clan of the Dangme people, the entire Shai community. But I chose to be. And also from my mother's side, I come from both Osu and Asren. So where the Gamache come from is where my mother comes from. And so both homes I come from the King family. But I love preaching the gospel. And I think in every community there must be the priest, the king, and the prophet. And I choose to be the priest.
You are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. I know the 31 days of the nonsense must stop is going on.
Very much so.
Yeah, very much so.
Every morning.
What's on your mind this morning that you want us to touch on?
Kafu, I've been very sad for the past 4 days. In fact, I celebrated my birthday on Monday, and thank you for all the best wishes I had from DTV and almost all the stations. 15th May is my birthday.
Yes,
so
Monday.
Thank you, I had all of you. But I read an article from a professor, and I've sent it to you.
Yes.
If you can read that article, I would love it.
Okay, so this is an
article, let me give a background, an article that tells us how much of devastation attack we are giving to our nation from Galamsey.
Okay.
And I think we have handled the Galamsey issue haphazardly.
So this is a story, credit to myjoyonline.com. So children born in areas prone to illegal mining suffer cognitive impairment. It means their brain function is not great, and other deformities due to the high use of heavy metals used in gold extraction by Galamsey operators. So this is an observation of Professor Paul Poku Sampeni Osei. He's an associate professor, Department of Pathology, School of Medical Sciences at KNUST, and a consultant pathologist at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. Quote, the first thing that affects these babies when they are infected by these toxins is cognitive impairment. Their brains do not respond to these normal things that we see. So common metals used in the extraction of gold include mercury, cyanide, and lead, and they are inhaled, we are breathed in and ingested into the bloodstream of the miners and residents of the mining communities. Now, children and infants can absorb up to 50% of these heavy metals when they inhale these substances or eat food contaminated by these heavy metals. Adults have the capacity to absorb between 15 to 20% of the metals. So their gastrointestinal tract, so their organs inside their bodies, the stomachs, has a high affinity. It bonds with these metals. And there are all kinds of changes that are happening to these babies. According to the professor, there are instances in some areas of Ghana where babies are born with their legs forming around their chests.
Wow.
So instead of having your legs where your legs are coming out at your chest area.
Malformation.
There's more. So legs are not only forming around the chest, they are forming around the neck. They are also forming around the stomach. In Ghana, he said, we have babies being born with one eye. One eye. Some of them without genitals. He says some mothers are even dying with their babies. I continue. The placenta of a pregnant woman has a high affinity for lead. So if such a woman lives in a Galamsey area, her baby will certainly have deformities when born. See, the children are also suffering from kidney and hypertensive related conditions. Just yesterday was World Hypertension Day. And babies are actually suffering from hypertension, high blood pressure as a result of all these things. So deformities, I mean, these are monstrosities.
Congenitally, I mean.
Completely, from no fault of the baby.
So Kafu, when I sent you this, you notice I sent it to you at midnight.
Yes.
I couldn't sleep. I felt that I was a culprit to this.
You know what? The professor who said all of this, he's on the line right now.
Okay.
So let's have a chat with the professor who made these very startling revelations that we just read out. Prof, good morning. Welcome to GTV Breakfast.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm great, but I'm sad. I'm shocked by the devastation that mining is causing to the next generation.
so sad as well. In fact, I believe that everybody in Ghana, probably except those who are benefiting directly from it, will be the only people who will not be sad.
How long have you noticed these deformities in babies and the impacts on mothers as well?
Well, good morning once again to your cherished listeners and yourself. This very thing that you are, it's been a while, but I was first interviewed. I did a paper on the case report, and it was first quoted by, I think, this BBC, which eventually interviewed me on this. Then I think it got thrown up, and then Ghanaians also. I've been in it for some time. Yeah.
Which areas of Ghana are we having these horrible effects on babies?
Like I said, I did what we call case studies, and it was only confined to 3 regions. But probably it could be more if I had gone to do, let's say, a full-blown research. But this one, I did it in 3 places. Or I happened to have 3 places in Ghana that had suffered some form of maternal baby mortality. So I was called to come and just get the babies out of the mother's system so that the babies could be buried separately. So it was carried out in the central region, western, and then the Ashanti region.
Give us a summary of your findings. What did you find? What's the summary of your findings?
Well, externally, I think a lot of discussions have gone on as far as my findings are concerned. But deformities, all manner of congenital anomalies were found externally. And then internally, you could see, I could see that a child or the baby, a newborn kidney is nothing to write home about. The kidney is highly well bloated, that is very enlarged kidney, which shows that the child was actually going through what we call pituitary, nephrotic sort of condition, because the kidney shouldn't be that big in the child. In some instances, too, if it's just a baby, maybe let's say about 15 years, their kidneys are also enlarged. And then, if not enlarged, sometimes you see their kidneys shrunken and it appears scarred, meaning that the person has been having some form of renal-related condition that could lead to hypertension. Do you understand? So these are some of the things that, and aside that, you can also see the brain, not well formed, more formed brain, and then you get to the the heart and so forth. So basically, that is what has happened during my case study that I did some years ago. Which of course now I'm doing some form of what we call proper research into it by looking into placenta, which happens to be one of the main sources from which these children or these babies get what we call as it were, these heavy metals used in extraction of gold.
Prof, some of the descriptions I read in the My Journal Online report come straight out of a horror movie. So you have necks sprouting from legs sprouting from necks and stomachs. I mean, what's all that?
Oh yeah, my brother. At first, when I was in medical school somewhere outside of Ghana, as a young boy, I was reading some of these things, congenital anomalies, and it was as if they were way far from us. Basically, most of them were seen among animals, and just animals were commonly affected by some of these things. Because animals graze and drink direct from these things, these sources. So you could see them among animals. And then some few humans in maybe India and so forth. But when I saw the reality dawn on me and I saw it in Ghana, then I said, wow, then we are in trouble. Especially when the literature says that these heavy metals, especially lead, mercury, cadmium, cyanide, what is commonly used in Ghana for the extraction of gold, then we are in trouble, my brother.
What are your recommendations as an academic and a researcher?
Well, first recommendation is that, we should, the leaders, in fact, anytime I say leaders, I'm not talking about, I'm not looking at the government, I'm not looking at the minister.
Yes.
I'm looking at me and you. We are all leaders in our own small ways.
Exactly.
Because the moment we see it and bring it forth to the knowledge of the public, so we are taking leadership role. So first, our leaders should be very much concerned about it in terms of our coming out with our findings and coming out vocally to talk about it. That is one. And two, of course, the leaders, we have hierarchy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So there are people who are higher in terms of the leadership hierarchy who feel to them that they enact good laws and punitive laws for that matter, that those who responsibly sell all these things into our water bodies, which eventually find themselves into our food chain and then eventually into humans, must be brought to book and punitive action is taken against them. And there should be some means by which we will recover all these things, which of course is going to be a very long way to go, but to recover the water bodies, to recover our soil, and all those things is not going to be easy. In fact, seriously speaking, honestly, there should be a holistic approach to this. Everybody must be on board to be able to clear the menace. Aside the fact that everything is being destroyed, the human component of it is serious and quite, alarming and quite unpleasant. And so the earlier we deal with it, the better it will be for us.
Before I let you go, it was Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete who alerted me to this story. I believe he has maybe a question or two to you concerning the findings from your research. Reverend Dr. Tete, Professor Osei is on the line.
Let me congratulate my brother.
I'm most grateful, sir.
I think that if all of us will be responsible like you've been, this nonsense will stop.
Oh, that's it.
I believe we've all been cooperating. I read your article at midnight during my study time, and I couldn't wait but to send it to Kafui that this is what is happening. In Ghana here, we have the presidency, we have the judiciary, we have the parliamentary, we have the so-called pressmen who claim that you're the fourth realm of the estate. We also have clergymen. We have police people today in Ghana that are wasting energies. At one place, you see about 10 policemen on motorbike. What are they doing here? They should go to the bases. We should not impress people here. But then the sad thing is that before I even come to Prof, in every district, there's a head of national security, there's a head of BNI, there's a head of police, there's a head of district security system. What are we doing? I want to say thank you, but please continue with what you are doing. I want you to know that the international community will hear of you. Some of us will make sure, even places that they've not heard of this thing, they should hear of it, because we are killing our own people. We've destroyed our own community. There are a lot of professors like him who knows exactly what is going on, who are quiet because they are beneficiary. There are a lot of police people who know exactly what is happening in this nation, who are quiet because they are beneficiary. Tell me, if we don't have police commissioners in the area, can you go into any land in Ghana today and start digging a place from somebody's cocoa farm or somebody's plantain farm, and a king or a policeman will not arrest you? So if we say we are not aware of these things, no. So please let me commend you. Instead of asking questions, I want to speak to you privately after this program and also commend you. But there are a few comments I want to make. If Sheikh finish, I'll make those comments.
Thank you so much, Prof. Please stay on the line. I think Sheikh Arimi Ashaibu has a few comments to make.
Oh yeah, I just want to associate myself with the commendations of my colleague here. But probably what I would want you to go ahead and do, because Ghanaians, the way we are lethargic when it comes to our response to some of these matters, because we see ourselves far removed from the risk and the dangers. Can you find a space where you can organize some public lecture where policy people with some PowerPoints where you give us
the pictures,
these horrible pictures, especially young people who are now seeking to give birth to children, to perpetuate, the human species. And what becomes of a nation if a certain generation is endangered to this extent? So in Ghana, for example, if the next generation are exposed to such risk, so what becomes of our country? And I think, and secondly, probably apart from that, probably in a studio like this, to really paint the picture very well, to us.
Make him our guest on Thursday. We are happy to sandwich him.
Yes. If he has to even take over.
We are happy to sandwich him. We have
a big national conversation.
This is national security issue.
Yeah. It is sad. It is sad when we're talking about this, and those in politics, pardon me if I have to speak the way I'm doing, that this important matter that we are dealing with, we reduced it to personal attacks. I got sad that matters of such importance that when it has come to public domain, instead of us to quickly go back, use wisdom to see how in government we will be able to tackle this matter, where we fell short and where we have been successful, analyze it very well and see. The whole thing was, the importance was removed. And then it is now the political side of it and a certain personality that we're dealing with. Secondly, I want to reiterate, when the Fulanis are entering into our lands, the chiefs and the local communities came out publicly. They protested. Why are they not doing so for our Galamsey? Look at the dangers we are exposed to.
So it's great that Prof has come up with the research.
He is now re-energizing and reenacting the importance of the whole matter. So within the political sector, within the health sector, within the traditional authority, within our security, within the police, like the Reverend has said, look, let's all come back and tackle this as a national threat to our security.
I think I associate with both of you your comments. Professor Say, I want to let him go. You had any comments for him briefly? I want to know, first of all, can we find the research anywhere on Google Scholar? Is there anywhere where it's been published for us to go read and then digest and translate?
Yes. I will, if I want to speak with you,
yes, sir.
As we speak now, I'm dropping off my kids at school.
Okay.
When I'm done, I will surely give you the link.
Yes. So that we can translate it into different languages and let people know the extent of if it's a possibility of adult education in the various languages, it must be done so people know exactly. Do we have pictures? We do? Prof?
Hello?
Do we have pictures of all these congenital deformities?
Come again.
Do you have pictures of all these legs sprouting out of stomachs and necks? Do you have pictures? We need to shock people out of their lethargy,
We know something. There's excess issues here, especially when they are case reports.
Yeah.
And what do we call it? So the pictures, as such as if they are sent, sometimes they may.
You have to block the eyes and things like that. Yeah.
Have some way. So probably one-on-one I can show, but
sure.
To do them on in the media for the parading somewhere is quite difficult.
Not a problem. The information has to come out so that people are energized and they know that this is a serious fight. But we want to really thank you for the research that you've done on this, and we'll be getting in touch with you later on.
Most grateful, sir.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations for being a good father. I can hear you say you are taking your children. That is a responsible father.
Thank you so much, Professor
on
Paul.
Father's Day, we have to bring this story.
Yes, we have to congratulate you for that.
Professor Paul Poku, something else.
The tree, yes, Sagalam said, no, ni danger I am and say, oh, Baba, oh, ba, Nini, Ayabako. Nini, oh, Nipa, Nini Bakompa. Esi ne mama and them say poison ni bi fi sagalem say edwono mo ene mamefo no edie na ekọ awodie no mu a enam sante no sei akwala no a ye wo no wo be wo akwala a ne nan ewo ne furu wo be wo akwala a ne nan epie ewo no kon na eba ne sa na wo si we dia a demon.
Exactly. You forgot about the genitals.
Now, what do you call soft chain? Say, what suffer there on the minimum? Yeah, oh, Bapa, or Pamo.
For not sister.
Because in quotes, in quotes,
But these are the effects.
Oh, sir, ye nipa, ye was soon suma dear, and a woman dear. We ye hunam dear.
Yes.
A one young son, and upon the amount.
Yes.
So, wo, pesum community, one walk for a draw, in sua yen ya no mono. And a walk for a draw bonny, edu government, who be say, will you go? No, ben yes, cano. Dear, obe worry. Now, o year, bewo, o banoa, neni aya bakon, el cinema. O year bewo ba. Ne nine no ebe pepie e wono kon ana ebebo ne furu na wo hu owo ba no wo hospital ye se bahwe a wo dwane a ye be so mu se gina na hwe wo unya wa ye no. So this matter is a serious matter.
Sheikh, we need you on adult education in fee. I'm telling you. Yes. To take the message down.
Yes, seriously.
We need you there.
Because if you don't break it down to this level, they think we are far away from the
producer Cynthia will take note.
You know,
Sheikh is on.
We really please let's remove the politics.
Yeah. This is life. This is life.
Please. Yeah. Let's remove this politics.
Yeah.
Let's look when it comes to these matters. Let's come together. Let's come together. Let us not come together only behind the scenes when we are sharing the booty. The politicians, they are telling us now that, you see, when you see us fighting, behind the scenes, we are friends. Please, let's show this friendship on such serious matters. Let me see NDC, MPP removing the malice and the mischief between that political sharp divide.
And let's unite again.
And let's unite and say, look, when you there.
And is this so?
When there, this
is what they're drinking.
In so way yenya no hwe kala no in so way yenya no na yemu bi wa ya wo awie
but none of them had legs coming out of their stomach.
Me give hono me ma omo
exactly. So you have to think about your children.
Minena no mo eba oba ne o no kon me hu ya na me gare
even in your old age. Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
Your cast ready na so no senior ye pese ye kan ye serious no because it movie was ye can say ya ene moti ase na mu nyemu atenka say say how be e de ye nimu a e wo say ye kutia
one time. Thank you so much. I really want to thank you, and Sheikh, please thank Reverend for bringing this story.
Oh, thank you so much.
And my producers also for acting on it quickly to bring the professor who reported this. This is great.
I'm so impressed with the way they swiftly got the professor. But it was at midnight I read it. And Kafui, let's get back to it. What Sheikh did now is what we need as a nation. I'm not saying this because Sheikh Aremeya is here. We've spoken jargons too much.
Yeah, bring it down.
When it comes to Galamsey, we are speaking big languages where even the geologist doesn't understand. And then the people who write the scripts for the president or the vice president or the minister to read it, big English to prove a point to them. They themselves make pronunciations they don't understand. Let's come to the ground. What I'm saying simply is that the police in Ghana cannot tell me they don't know where the Galamsey perpetrators are. I want to zero into the police. This whole exuberance we are doing too many meetings in Accra. Let's go to the hinterland where the problem is. And let us not, there must not be selective justice. There are a lot of things I'm seeing now that in the coming days we'll be talking about. Sometimes they say when you say you'll be victimized, how many times? As this day, I'm an old man. I mean, there's no. If I'd gone to the police, I would have been a pensioner by now. I would have handed over my glove, maybe be an IGP or commissioner of police somewhere, and I would have been finished.
You don't look 60.
Unfortunately.
Such a handsome man.
Yeah, he doesn't look 60.
You know, I used to like it when I'm old. Now I'm getting older. I don't like it. I used to wait when I'm going to 70, when I'm going to 65, when I'm going to now. I'm getting closer.
Some time ago, when I noticed I was growing, then the gray hair began coming from my nose.
Yes.
So anytime I stand in the mirror, when I see it, I will use my hand.
And you
remove it.
Check, you think you're the only one. I look at my mustache and I see the white beard, and then I go to the barber and just snip the white off, keep it black.
Well, you are really fortunate.
It's not you alone.
So we need to be very, very circumspect. And I agree with Sheikh. We micromanage this nation, and we micromanage our offices, and we become very petty. You see what I'm saying now? Some policeman, commander, somebody thing is speaking on the police. But the work of the police is to keep law and order, not to victimize people.
Yeah.
Not get innocent people that because they are not in your party or they are not in the good party books, you have to deprive them of certain things that you think will not make any difference. We have a lot of police in Ghana to go to the place. I'm zeroing the police.
Yes.
Now let me give you the example. I'm not teaching the police what to do, but go to Elwak Stadium. There are about 8-9 police people on motorbike.
And the traffic lights.
They're on their mobile phones, doing absolutely nothing. We drive in town, we see them. 3 days today, I saw a group of them around Achimota. They are stopping cars to check weapons. Fine, that is good. But about 20 police checking cars. When we need to deploy them to certain places, and then you go to one house, you see about 6-7 police because the man is wealthy. So he can get motorcade, he can get this, he can get that. Nobody's envious of those things. But let us do the right thing so we don't abuse the policing. And whether we like it or not, posterity will judge all of us. There's no position anybody is holding now that is permanent. We should use our power, our position, our intellect, and the privileges God has given us now to win friends and to make friends and to serve Oman Ghana. Otherwise, along the line, Kafui, let me say this again, we'll have family members around the Brim area. We'll have family members around Pra areas. We'll have family members around Bosum Tree areas. We'll have family members around Ankoba areas. We'll have people, and those of us who have traveled around the region knows that this thing can be stopped. The machines that are being used for the Galamsey, Sheikh and Kafui, didn't fly through the air.
They're huge.
So immigration officers are aware. National security cannot tell me they are not aware. In every community, when I was going to do have a program in Kofodia, I needed permit from National Security Coordinator there in the district. I needed permission from the BNI man. I needed permission from the police there. So if we needed all those permits at that time or that confirmation from them before we can do a program in just Kofodia here at the corner here, why do you tell me you don't know what is happening there? Somebody is responsible, or somebody is enjoying the booty at the expense of all of us, and this nonsense
must stop. Yeah, legs coming out of stomachs and necks and chests. It's crazy. One-eyed, Cyclops. There was a mythical creature called the Cyclops in, I think, Greek or Roman mythology, with a one eye in his forehead. So we are breeding Cyclopses now. I mean, come on, man.
And it will come to haunt all of us.
Of course.
Because whether we like it or not, if we think it doesn't affect us, so let me give you this before you read your strength. The things that will be happening to them in Obuasi, in Takwa, in Achiansi, on those places, when the hospitals are not able to take care of them, they'll come to Rich Hospital, they'll come to Kolebu, they'll come to University of Ghana, they'll come to Okofanoche. So we will go to hospitals and our children will not have bed. And so this thing is something that we must look at holistically. And please, any comment I've made here, don't be petty about it. In any case, I have no regret in anything I've said. The nonsense
must stop. Thank you so much. And the messages must continue. 055-556-1034. Brother Kafui says, Kojo Selassie, the solution to this crime is there's nothing legal or illegal about it. The government must stop or withdraw all licenses. People must be stopped from boasting about the cash they make. The Chinese don't do this in China. Why here in Ghana? Somebody was on Metro TV displaying gold bars from his mining concessions and money he made in a month. Kojo Selassie, Takrady. We're talking issues on our big issue that we spoke about today. So I'm reading only those messages. My regards to these two fine gentlemen, Sheikh and Reverend. As we speak, Galamsey is ongoing, destroying the forests and the water bodies. I'm appealing to the clergy to put pressure on the government to take pragmatic action now to stop the destruction of the environment, or else there will be no Ghana tomorrow. Sami, still talking about things that we are not talking about. We are reading only messages on issues that we are talking about. Alaji Hamza is talking about an expunged MP. We'll get there. Today we're only talking about the issues that we've had to deal with right now. We'll get to all the issues you're talking about. Please, will Ghana ever work? That's a big question. It can work if those who have to do the work will do the work. Happy birthday to you, Eric Arthur, from Lord Siko. So there's a couple of messages that we have. Let's see. Good morning, CAF and the panelists, Sheikh and Reverend. Reverend has said it all. This nonsense must stop, in Reverend's voice. Yes, we like it. Good morning, CAF. Okay, so you're talking about how in America the Democrats and the Republicans have their differences regarding gun rights, gay rights, abortion rights, and others. But when it comes to development and the U.S. position in the world, they have one agenda: America first. Over here in Ghana, our politicians' agenda is their pockets and stomach first. Shame on all of them, shame. Alhaji Dawuda is asking a question to the Chief Imam's rep on bad political language. As a member of the Peace Council, will you rewrite the political party's code of conduct? From Alhaji Dawuda, Medina Estate. We'll come there pretty soon. Kweku Roberts, in fact, this nonsense must stop. Kafui, I'm really sad and short of words. God save our country. Kweku Roberts Jr. in Awudome Estate. So these are your messages coming in on 055-556-1034. You realize that my pace is very calm and measured because one of my good friends, one of the Alhajis, sent me a very passionate WhatsApp. He says, I read the messages too fast. So I should slow down and read the messages. I said, Alhaji, I agree. Please forgive me. He said, you are already forgiven. So Alhaji has forgiven me and my messages are coming at the pace that everybody can enjoy. When there are more, I will read them. Let's just flip through the headlines before we run out of here. Daily Graphic, IMF approves Ghana's bailout. First, a big headline there. High Court unveils Anas for Nyan Techi. So now he will have to show his face to the man in court. So Anas is going to testify in open court. And the president is not against small-scale mining, says Minister Jinapo. Jechi Kwesen is no more MP, Supreme Court orders. And the Asin North seat is now vacant, which means there's probably going to be a by-election of some
sort.
sort.
Can I make a comment on that, which you finish?
Okay, yes. Let me just run through it, then I'll make you get your comment. Ghanaian Times. At last, Ghana gets $3 billion IMF loan, $600 million to be released immediately. I wonder what the alert for a transfer like that will sound on your phone. You know, because when our small money is coming, with the $600 million, it's just like an explosion. Your phone self go blow up. Sikala land you boom like that. So $600 million have landed. 2-4 launches 2023 Green Ghana the J calls on all to support the project. Maybe that's why I'm wearing green for the Green Ghana. Electricity tariff goes up by over 18%. PURC increase to take effect on the first day of June. So you still have some 13 days to enjoy the tariff at the old price. Asin North MP court case, Supreme Court orders Parliament to expunge Jechi Kwesen's name from records. 559 road accident victims died in 3 hospitals in Accra, according to a study. Now, the business analyst says, we'll reduce fares if prices of spare parts go down. Transport operators. And Galam say, I am not happy with my chiefs at Amansia as Santehene fumes. And then GUTA, which is the Ghana Union of Traders Association, says it is too early to talk about price reduction due to CD gains. These are the headlines. We have about 15 minutes to go. Reverend, you wanted to say something on one of the stories.
You know, Kafui, we have a serious problem with 1992 Constitution. And I think it is taking us too long to review the Constitution. Not long ago, His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo gave one of the most powerful things that I really enjoyed, the return of the...
how do they call them?
Roper?
No, slave. The return of...
returning home, our brothers who were...
My sister didn't say that something.
Yeah.
Is it something?
The return.
The return.
Year of return.
Year of return.
Year of return. 2019.
Where we had black men who, for want of a better word, went as slaves, their great-grandfathers, coming back home. I sit here and I believe that some of this expansion we are doing to JC,
Jechi Kwesen,
some of us will easily be victims to it. We went to study abroad. By dint of the long stay, we ended up getting resident permit, and for some of us, maybe citizenship. We want to come back home to bring our expertise. There's so much we've gained, knowledge we've gained. Some of us went on scholarships, and government spent hard-won currencies to support it. Durable. I remember I would say,
hard durable dollars.
And then we come back home, and we all know the privileges that you get when you hold other passports, whether we like it or not. We cannot fool ourselves. If you have a British passport and American passport, there are a lot of privileges that you get. You go there, your treatment and everything is done. Our children were born there, we got married there. We come back home, we want to serve our nation. And we say because you have another citizenship, you are not qualified to serve. When we know that some of us were born in this country and we were groomed. And the truth is that we come with diversified knowledge to be able to contribute. I think this is also one of the nonsenses that must stop. Because what is that what we are doing to JC Kwesi now is not just to embarrass him in the name of politics. I don't give a hoot whether it's NDC or MPP. Trust me, some of us, we've risen past that issue of the box they put it on. We sit here every day, and some people refer to us either NDC or MPP, depending on which line of the conversation we go to. But I'm not ready to prove that to anybody anymore. There's no necessary. But we should be able to get to that place where we see the need and the usefulness of people. Did he win an election? Did the people vote for him? Did the people want him? If he was the one the people wanted, why are we using politics to take him out?
The law says he wasn't qualified.
So these are some of the things we should check well. Do we accept dual nationality? If we do, that's what, so it's a law. We need to go back to the constitution. Myself and Sheikh, not long ago, were invited to IAE, and we addressed them. And these are some of the points we spoke about, that there are a lot of things that must be changed. If they are not changed, some quality people that we think we need, we'll be losing them. IMF has brought us 3 billion.
Yeah.
Do you know that some of the people that will be brought to this country to come and check us are people that we know better than, people that are more qualified than, but they'll be handled as expatriates and they'll be handling this. So we should get to that place where we revive, we revamp, and then we change certain things so that people who belong to this indigenous community who are happy to come back home are not victimized. I see this. Of course, the Supreme Court has decided because they are basing it on the Constitution. But I see it as a clear violation of somebody's right, human right, for even the community he's supposed to be serving. And what happens is that next time somebody has that interest again, he'll stay where he is. He'll stay in Canada, he'll stay in America, and it becomes brain drain. We should not use politics to deprive people who are happy to serve their nation.
Thank you very much for your thoughts.
And this is devoid of NDC MPP.
No, you see, in political contestation, once this law plays to the advantage of one, he takes advantage of it. That's what's happening. And that's why I'm saying that the kind of politics of mischief that we do to our own self. So you take advantage of a certain other lacuna or a certain law that maybe has a certain challenge or ambiguity or whatever. You take advantage of it against, I mean, this one is this case is not unexampled. We have had several cases of this nature. It is now that so this one is appearing as if it's a new case. We should go back into the mind of the framers for our constitution. When they made this law, they made this provision in our constitution, thinking deep about it, why did they come up with this? Were they wrong? Were there certain justifications for this?
Some of them are still alive. We should be talking to them.
Yeah. So it is important. Come to in our tradition, for example, because there's issue of divided loyalty. You want to be sure. For example, if you're a Ga, you are an Ashanti, you are going to fight with another group somewhere, and you have secrets, and you have somebody who you look at him and say,
Which side? Plan B.
So when we are dealing with the secret, say, can you go out? Can you go out? Because what we are discussing, we are not sure
of you.
You see it? So even traditionally speaking, there could be some reason why. So we should really go into the thought. And when we have all come to agree that, look, the risks involved are such that we can deal with them. We can deal with them. But I mean, what I don't like is the mischief. That you keep quiet until it is placed to your advantage. Then you take advantage of it. Secondly, what are the qualifications for you to qualify as an MP in our country? And to search for those qualifications, where do we begin from? Issues of citizenship. Do we proceed from somebody must go into the constitution? Should we start from the political party itself? That you are going to put in place a candidate. Then that candidate comes with a certain expertise. You want him to be your MP. But that he has some questions about his citizenship. Are you interested to make sure that, look, can you do something about his citizenship before you come? That's from the political party level. Now jump to the EC. What are the requirements? So could the EC also have said, look, my friend, it appears, according to our constitution, you can't. Raise it up and let's see whether the political party will also fight against it. Take it to court even at that level. My worry is when the person has been allowed, spent energy, all those things, he's been elected. Now, over how many years before now this rule is coming?
6 years. 6 years.
He stayed for all this time. He's doing his work. Then by the stroke of a verdict at the court,
Expunge the name.
yeah, I mean, you come with, the fiat, expunge it. He is somebody of a doubtful citizenship. We cannot trust his loyalty, so he should not. You see, so the time lapse alone, it appears we are a nation, not a nation. So, and they've said it, justice denied, justice delayed, justice denied. So these are maxims that must underpin and guide the way we even respond legally to issues when they come to us. But when we delay,
Selective justice.
when we delay to this point, one of the MPs, which is a good friend of mine, that suffered from this, and I remember very well. And look, from this he died. The stress, the embarrassment, he became sick, he got hypertension, he got heart problem. Second day, he died. He died. I saw the man deteriorating. I mean, we met him, somebody looks handsome. After some time, he became so sluggish when you see him talk, even his talking. And gradually, he got, until he was even granted amnesty by the former president, John Dramani Mahama, and not too long after that, he died. You see, so as a nation, we must act at appropriate time so that we don't.
When our footballers have double nationality, we make them play for Ghana. Our footballers. So there should not be selective justice.
Yeah.
Our footballers come to play with double
we must also now come out clear. Even when you come, assuming we want to maintain this law, what is the line that you cannot cross? Can you become our president? Or you can remain as an MP? Or you can take any other position apart from being this or that?
Lots of questions.
All these things must be made clear.
Lots of questions.
But for me, double loyalty is something we must think seriously about. Yeah.
055-556-1034, 5 minutes to go. Let's read your messages. I'm going to slow down again. Please, this dual citizen problem. Who created this in our constitution for us, one may ask. You see, the Akans have a famous saying which translates that if the hunter knew that they would give him part of the meat, he would have rested it well. Which group of the people wrote the constitution? Thanks. K. Mensa. Good morning. So is this where Ghana has gotten to? Says Stephen. Alaji Dawuda. Reverend Dr. Tete, does your 30 days program ongoing, it's 31 days, have a day talk with political parties? Says the nonsense must stop.
It's open to everybody.
It's open to all. All right.
Well, I told you last time that we had a gentleman came who's a Muslim who came to give us some quotation. Prayer request. I was so impressed.
Why not? Good morning, Kaf and my men of God. I believe our military men are capable of helping to stop Galamsey. It needs a more radical approach. Believe me, have a beautiful day. Nana in Glagong. Gideon Afadi. Good morning, Kaf. Please kindly ask Sheikh to translate to Ga for us. This nonsense must stop. Sheikh speaks Hausa. Sheikh speaks Chi. Sheikh speaks Fanti. Sheikh speaks English. Sheikh does not speak Ga.
In fact, the only guy I can speak is Onabolichon.
They say Kwashiani, Akpa Kwashiani. Akpa Kwashiani.
Akpa Kwashiani. This
But
nonsense.
the question is when I'm saying that.
Yeah. You got the confused translation. Patrick says, what is the chief's imam's position on LGBTQ?
People ask questions.
This thing,
People
I have said it several
Leave that
times.
one for me.
We are totally
against it.
Chief Imam is very explicit in his position about this. Totally against LGBTQ and what it means. Like I've said several here, this concept about sexuality is a threat and a danger to the survival of the family. It's not a human right issue, but the threat is to the family. And the family is the basic unit of society. You want to destroy a community, begin with the family and you succeed.
It's clear there. I like the way Sheikh is talking about Galamsey. Me too. Congratulations to the eminent men of God. They have done justice to the subject. My problem is that the man has lost his Canadian citizenship too. Great injustice to him and his constituents. So what does that mean? He's a man in no man's land?
Yes, no.
No. He's a Ghanaian now.
Yes.
But he's lost the Canadian one.
Yes, not the Canadian.
Can he reapply?
So
it will be difficult for him now. He might have a stay in Great Britain. You can decide to lose your British citizenship and still maintain your permanent residency. But in some countries like Holland, you can only have one citizenship. So if you deny yourself that one, reapplying can become hard.
So it depends.
Yes.
We have people who were born in other countries becoming members of Congress in the United States, and that we don't know anything. We say, what? Let's get serious. All I see, you want to commend the police on their motorbike issues. Okay. All right. If you doubt the arrest, they'll play the CCTV camera for you to see it for yourself. Okay, police. Reverend's point is that they need to go and be tackling Galamsey, not congregating at traffic lights.
In Accra.
Hi, I am David. And what I'm saying is that Ghana doesn't need politics, but kingship. Good discussion. It gives us a sign there. Good morning. It's so disturbing when you see how the prayer has turned. This is the prayer. From last year, from this year. That's the prayer.
looking like Lamujin.
Looking like Lamujin. Dr. Tete, please keep on speaking the mind of God with boldness. This nonsense must stop. We are really enjoying the conversation, especially the way they are speaking with boldness. Boldness is a very attractive quality because not a lot of people are bold. So when they see somebody who is bold, they want to be like that person.
Well, but sometimes too,
Yes.
you end up getting victimized.
Yeah,
for saying
that's
your
the price of
and
boldness.
people become very petty.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I should open up to
Yes.
certain things that are being said or things that are being done to some of
yeah.
us because of this boldness,
Yeah,
be shocked.
yeah,
exactly.
It's so petty.
Yeah.
We suffer the other side of it.
That people you expect to even protect you today don't want any
don't want them
protection
near you.
because
They're
you are
scared.
speaking your mind. But the nonsense must stop anyway.
Amen.
God takes care of us.
Thank you so much, Atakbiri.
Allahu Akbar.
Shalom to you.
Shalom. God bless you. My joy on your thing.
But still the Kwashiai must stop.
Kwashia ni akpa. This nonsense must stop. I don't kwashia no me.
This show has nothing to do with nonsense.
But the nonsense must stop. And
Good
it is
sense coming up.
ongoing. Every morning from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Christian
we
Village.
are Christian Village,
Yes,
and it's going very well.
All right.
I did it before coming.
Yes, the nonsense is stopping.
Yes.
And the money is coming. $600 has $1 million has arrived. The way, big alert. We'll have a conversation about that IMF money, and then we have breakfast with vanilla as well. This is GTV breakfast with my proud babies. Deformed water. This is what it looks like. Water that is deformed. Nonsense must stop. Galamsey.